Start now.
Okay.
All right. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Wake Tech Virtual University Transfer Fair. This session is for Western Governors University, and my name is Amanda Tucker. I'll be assisting with this event along with a few of my colleagues today. We are so excited to have Tanita Filial-Rogers with us today from Western Governors University. Tanita will be leading us through a PowerPoint presentation, and then we will do a Q&A session at the end. Feel free to go ahead and put your questions in the Q&A throughout the presentation, but just know that she will answer those at the end of the presentation today. And I will also put a survey link in the announcement section of the presentation. And if you complete this survey just for some feedback about the event, you'll be entered to win a drawing for a $25 gift card. So thank you so much for joining, and I will go ahead and turn it over to Tanita.
Thank you so much, and thank you all for being here this morning. I hope you're doing well. Again, my name is Tanita Filial-Rogers, and I serve as the Strategic Partnership Manager here at Western Governors University. My focus is on all community colleges here in North Carolina, and so we have a partnership with your community college, Wake Tech, and so I am happy to be able to present to you today. So have you heard about Western Governors University? Is this a new campus? Maybe you may know some information about, you've maybe seen us, maybe not. So let's see. I think this may trigger your memory.
We're a different breed, aren't we? While others rest, we choose to work. Where others are content, we stay hungry. They may not see us coming, but we know exactly where we're going. You won't rest until you succeed. Neither will we.
All right, so do you remember seeing that commercial? Yeah, that is us. We're Western Governors University, and so we're excited to be. I'm excited to be here to share some information about Western Governors with you. As you see, we started in 1997, and we started with Western Governors had 19 U.S. governors to come together to establish Western Governors University. And we have been up and running for 23 years, changing lives and family members and graduates one at a time. And so what they did is what they wanted to create a university that was for busy adults. So give busy adults opportunity to go back to school because they know that adults need that education, but they need the flexibility to be able to go back to school. So they created they created a system that meets the needs of the economics in this country. So they have specified different programs within. We have programs that meet the needs of the economy, and we've been going on for 23 years. How are we different? Well, we're online 24/7. A student can study at 2 o'clock in the morning if they like. We're competency based, which means students can move and master the program. Once they can move on, once they've mastered the program, they have no class time. They do not have to meet a professor. And of course, we are accredited. We are national. We are regionally accredited, and we are a nonprofit university. Here are our 4 workforce majors. We offer bachelor's and master's degrees in health professions, business, IT, and teaching. And again, we are workforce focused. So you can't come here and get something in say history or anything like that. So when the founders created the university, they want to make sure that when students receive a degree, they'll be able to go to the workforce. So they look forward to see what is needed in our society in terms of jobs. Okay. Here are a list of our programs that we have under the College of Health Professions. As you see, we have the RN, the BSN. That's one of our most popular programs that we have. We also have information management and service coordination, which is they're also very popular in terms of folks who still want to go into the health professions, but not necessarily want to be a nurse. And of course, we have master's degrees that allow a nurse to get their MSN degree, as well as we have a master's in health leadership and an MBA in healthcare management as well. Okay, here's a list of our College of Business programs. As you see here, we have BS in Business Administration with the focus of business management, healthcare, human resources, IT, marketing, and accounting. And then, of course, we have a bachelor's in health information management. And here are the list of the master's degrees that we also offer in business. And here you can see that we are accredited. The School of Business is accredited. That's a special accreditation. The ACBSP is a special accreditation for business schools. So whenever you look for business schools, make sure you see if they have that type of accreditation. That's just a higher level for business schools to have. Okay, here's a list of the college, the programs that are in our IT college. And you can see that here, the list here that we have. Of course, one of our most popular right now is cybersecurity. I think because of all the TV shows, people are interested in cybersecurity as well as what's going on in society in terms of, you know, people stealing information and so forth. But that is a very popular degree. But here's a list of all of our bachelors in IT, as well as the master's degree. As you see here, we've been recognized by CyberWatch, and we also have the Microsoft Academy, IT Academy. We also, so they recognize us for that, as well as the CNSS. So we are also accredited with those type of programs within that school as well. Okay, so for the teaching college, the pre-licensure, here you can see that we offer a bachelor's in elementary ed, special ed, mathematics education, science education in middle and secondary chemistry and so forth. So you see the different types of degrees that we offer there for pre-licensures, as well as the master's degree in pre-licensure as well. And you can see here at the bottom again, we are accredited, CAPE accredited. And so you want to make sure that any college that you look at, that they are CAPE accredited. That matters. As well as we received some additional awards. Our teaching college have received additional awards in teaching. And that's the postgraduate elementary education. So that's for anyone who has a bachelor's degree but want to go back and get a degree in teaching. That's what that was. Alrighty. So here's post-licensure. So which you can get post-licensure. So once you have your license, you can go back and get a master's degree in these different programs. As you see here, curriculum and instruction, special education, education leadership, excuse me. And we have a master's in education and learning and technology, as well as instructional design. And on the right side, you see the different additional master's programs here. Okay. All right, here we have Wake Tech has a partners page that when you will go to that link, you will see it'll look similar to this. So I do apologize for Carteret page being here, but your page would say Wake Tech Community College, and it will look just like this. And you will then click on the college that you're interested in, and it will show you the different pathways. So we have created pathways for your community college. So you would go in and see how many credit hours that would transfer to our university. So most of our, if you are in a university transfer program, of course, that's 60 credit hours, 60, 61 credit hours that would transfer to us. However, if you are in an associate in applied science program, we also have articulated that as well. And so you can go and see that. You can go into the School of Business and say, if you are in the AAS in accounting, you can click on it and it'll say AAS in accounting and how many credit hours we would accept from that AAS in accounting into WGU, as well as it'll list the number of courses that you have taken, how many you will need to take to finish out the degree. So it's very self-explanatory. And so just go to your web page, on your web page, your community college web page, and find us, and you will find this information. Okay, I wanted to again recognize the awards and praises that we have received at Western Governors University. As I mentioned, we are regionally accredited by the Northwestern Commission on Colleges and Universities. We've also, again, our schools are accredited, like I said, the business school, the education school, the teaching school, IT, and nursing. So we are all accredited, and so I want to show you the praises and awards that we've also received. We received the Best Valued School as well. So these are some of the accreditations and awards that we've received. Here are a list of partners that we have. So again, we focus on workforce. So by us having only 4 colleges, we really focus on once you graduate, where can you go to work? So we create a lot of partners within industry to make sure that once you graduate, you'll have somewhere to go. And so here are a list of different partnerships that we have, company partners that we have. Of course, it's not limited to this, but I also want to highlight that we are military friendly. We've received the award every year for military friendly campus. We accept a lot of the military credit, as well as we're very friendly and easy. We work with military families and the the servicemen to help them earn a degree. Okay, so WGU, we have around 120,000 students enrolled today. 74% of our students work full-time. They are full-time working adults, as well as they are 94% of our students are 25 years or older. So again, WGU serves the working adult. They know that even if you're not 25 years or older, you may still have to work. You have responsibilities. So this program, our programs are meant for students who have things to do. They have, busy lives, and they may have to work, they may have children and so forth. So this gives the flexibility for a student to go back and finish their degree. So we're going to start off with competency-based. Here we have 5 ways to make a degree more doable. And so let's start with competency-based. Competency-based pretty much means that it's knowledge-based, not time-based. So in other words, it's based on when you've mastered the degree. When you've learned the information, you're assessed, and then you moved on. You're not going on the teacher's schedule or pace. You're not going on your classmates' pace, but it's based on your own knowledge of when you've mastered the information. Students are able to complete the programs at their own pace. Once the students have mastered, they move on to the next, as I just stated. And we work with industry in curriculum development to ensure that students have the knowledge and skill sets needed for today's workforce. So here again, that partnership with the employers are very important, because we go to them and say, hey, AT&T, what skill sets are you needing for your employers to have? And then once we receive that information, they work closely with the professors to create that information into the curriculum to make sure that you know the information. So when you go to work, you are familiar with the information. Okay, so here again, students quickly are assessed. Once they have mastered the material, they move on. Here again, you're not focused on the seated time. So our semesters are, or we don't have semesters, but our timeline is 6 months. So you pay for 6 months at a time versus a semester. So you can take as many courses in that 6 months as you possibly can once you've mastered the information. So an example may be, here I have Joe is in a statistics course, and Joe is not a math person, right? He's not a math person. So it may take him 4 weeks to complete the course, to master the course. So it may take him about 4 weeks. Whereas Susan, she's a math whiz, and it takes her 2 weeks to complete that particular course because she's a math whiz. So you can see by this example, it's based on when you master the information. So it's based on it's based on you. That's what competency based is. It's based on when you've learned it. So you move quickly through the materials as you know. Once you prove it, you move on. And with an associate's degree, it takes about 1.5 years to complete the degree. So great flexibility. As I mentioned before, you can access courses 24/7. So if you want to get up at 2 o'clock in the morning and do your work, you can. You do not have a professor to meet at a certain time to meet for class. So it's based on when you are available. If you want to do work during lunch hour or what have you, you just log on and you do your work. And so it's based on your own time. The classes are available, of course, on PCs, tablets, smartphones, and you can access this, of course, from home or work. And again, students are not tied to a fixed course schedule, and you are not slowed down by other students. So mentor guided. And so I think this is what we are really known for, is our mentors. So from day one to graduation, you will have a mentor. Okay, that means that mentor is like a life coach. They help you through the process. If something goes on in your life where you have to stop out, or you have a death in the family, you would talk to that mentor and you all will adjust your schedule and so forth. So that mentor is very important. That's the secret sauce with WGU. They will personalize your degree plan. So you decide, hey, I want this degree, I want to get out in a year. And so they will devise a plan that will help you do that. And of course, like I just said, readjust the plan based on your needs, in terms of if something happens, life happens, and you need to readjust, they will do that. They offer one-on-one help and advice, and they have regular and frequent check-ins. So based on your schedule, based on your work, they have regular check-ins. So if you're a person that needs a check-in once a week, then you'll get a check-in once a week, or once every 2 weeks, or so forth. So they have regular check-ins based on your schedule, as well as we have our course instructors are subject matter experts in that particular field, of course. We have, and they are also available for instruction. So if you need additional help with a particular course, you will contact your course instructor. Yes, all of these courses are online. However, our faculty members are available and ready if you have any questions regarding a particular course. So they are ready to assist you. Okay, comprehensive. Just like other campuses, we have skill support. So we have writing and math labs for you to get additional help. We also have emotional support. So if you need counseling, especially throughout this COVID period and what's just going on in the world, we do offer that emotional support. We have a third-party professional counseling organization that helps with that, as well as we have alumni support. And we have a number of postgraduate events and forums. So here again, we have a network of companies as well as our alumni get together periodically through LinkedIn, through Facebook and other avenues, and they talk. We have forums with companies. We have job opportunities. So there is a very active alumni support group, as well as I mentioned, the career services. So once you graduate and you say you're in a career, but you're looking for other opportunities, you come back to us and we'll help you find another opportunity. So we are very involved with our alumni, and we're very proud of that, that our alumni keep engaged with us. Okay, and we are surprisingly affordable. Okay, so here is a list of, we have a flat rate tuition. As I mentioned, we have 6 months tuition and it's unlimited courses. So again, you pay for 6 months at a time. You pay for time and not credit hours. So you pay for 6 months and not credit hours. So a lot of the universities, you pay per credit hour. So if you take 18 hours, you pay 18 hours, credit hours for 18 hours. However, here you only pay for 6 months. So if you take how many ever courses in that 6 months, you're not charged any different. We have had people to graduate in 6 months with transferable credit. I do know a student who did that. He said he would not wish it on anybody because it was very difficult, but he had his why. He was in IT, and he was working as a contractor, but he needed a degree in IT, and so that was his why. And so he actually, of course, he had some transfer credit, but he finished his IT degree in 6 months. He didn't have a life. I don't think he had children or anything like that to stop him, but he received a degree in 6 months. It was incredible. And but it's doable, and and he had his why, and so it is doable. He don't recommend it, but it is doable if you need to do that. You can complete, of course, I said, more courses without paying more, and you save both time and money with our tuition model. And so here, undergraduate programs range from $3,200 to $3,500 for 6 months. In that, and graduate programs, $32,000 to $4,000. And of course, that depends on what program you're in, because some programs may have labs or things like that that may make the price go up a little bit. So that's why you see between $32,000 and $35,000, depending on the particular program. There is a $145 resource fee, but that covers all the learning materials in online library fees. So that covers everything, which is very cheap compared to our to other universities who charge $19,000 a year average. And so that is something to consider. So $7,000 a year versus $19,000 is a big difference. Of course, we have financial aid options. We have scholarships. We have a number of scholarships. So by you attending Wake Tech, we have a partnership with you guys. So you are eligible to receive a 5% discount, as well as a community college transfer scholarship. We have Pell grants as well as federal loans. And there are a number of different scholarships out there as well. We have scholarships for different programs. So if you're in IT, there may be an IT scholarship, or business scholarship, first generation scholarship. So we offer a number of different scholarships that you could apply to. We do have financial aid consultants to help you with your borrowing needs. As well as most of our students graduate with so little debt because of our tuition. You see, for 6 months, it's only like $3,200. So you can, a year is $7,000, around $7,000, $8,000. So it's a lot cheaper. So our debt, students graduate with us with very little debt, and we have half the nation average in terms of student loan default. So students are paying back their loans because they're not so as expensive. All right, so here, benefits. So here you go. The application fee is $65, but it's waived if you use the code NCCC, which means North Carolina Community College. In case you forget that, it's NCCC, North Carolina Community College. Here again, I mentioned that you're eligible for a community college partnership scholarship valued at $2,000, and we are military friendly, as well as we have transfer pathways, as I mentioned before. We have transfer pathways that you can view. So what do our students think? So here are some comments that students have made in regards to WGU. If I found out about my current school sooner, I would have most likely not been in debt right now. So that talks about our very low tuition. I'm loving WGU so far and wish I had done it years ago. Wish I had made it sooner. Some of these I can't see here, but you can see there's a lot of people very satisfied with WGU in terms of the education as well as the flexibility and the price point. So here's student satisfaction. So 70% said that the school was perfect for students like them. 86% said that they were satisfied with the academic help. 96% said they would choose the university again. 77% said it was definitely worth the cost, and 97% said they would recommend the university to others. So students are very satisfied with WGU. Now I want to share with you one of our student testimonials.
I was working full-time as a para, but I just knew eventually one day I wanted to get my degree. I knew I wanted to work while getting my degree, and so I knew online was how I wanted to go. I just needed to find the right online program for me, and that led me to WGU. I earned my degree, and now I'm a teacher.
Okay. Here's Chris.
I knew I wanted more out of my professional career, and I felt like going back to school was the best bet to try to move forward as much as possible. People look at me and they're just like, how did you manage working full time and going to school? And essentially that's what WGU makes possible.
All right, so you can see that students are satisfied and that we're flexible in terms of allowing them to continue to work and have life as well while they're getting their degree. So here are some information about the transfer opportunities. Of course, you know, if you have a bachelor's degree already, you can transfer some courses in if you're interested in a second bachelor's degree or master's degree. So yes, so we accept those bachelor's degrees in order to do that. Of course, the associate's degree, we accept those, as well as anyone interested that has foreign courses, foreign coursework that applies to a lot of our military families and folks who have studied abroad. We do accept those courses as well. So there are a lot of opportunities in order to transfer those courses or work related experiences into our courses, into our university. So here's the application and admissions process. Again, you would apply and you can use the fee waiver code of NCCC, which is North Carolina Community College, so NCCC. We do a transcript evaluation, and then you apply for financial aid, and then you take a readiness assessment test, And the purpose of that test is just to make sure that you're an online person. I mean, people think online is very easy, but it's not. It's just as rigorous as brick and mortar, face to face. And so a lot of times we need to make sure that the student is able to take online classes and they're familiar with the computer and so forth. I think now with COVID, more people are, their readiness in terms of online learning has increased. So I don't think that's nearly a problem like it has been. You complete an interview, again, having that conversation of what your goals are, because we want to make sure this is a good fit. Western Governors isn't a good fit for everyone. So we want to make sure that you are successful when you come. It's not about just getting the numbers, but we want to make sure that you're successful, that once you graduate, you are able to go into the workforce. So that's who we are and what we do, and that's our core values. And then here again, you can start at any at the beginning of each month. So you do not have to wait until August or January or summer school, was that July to start. We start at the beginning of each and every month. So if you want to start in March, you can start in March. So we allow students to start when they're ready at the beginning of each and every month. So again, if you want to start, this is February, you want to start in March, you can start in March. You want to start 1st of April, you can. So that also is a benefit in how we work with non-traditional students, because you're ready to get started. And because of that, because you can start at the beginning of each month, we have people that graduate each and every month as well. So, so we're very excited about that. And then you complete orientation, and then you're ready to go. And then you're ready to go. Okay, so that is my spiel. I wanted to bring your attention to, if you're wanting more information or you're ready to get started, please take a picture. Take your phones out and take a picture of this slide here. And if you could go to that HTTPS and then Strala, you can go to that website there. They will, you'll fill out a form and someone will contact you where you can ask more in-depth questions and you want to learn more or get started. Please take a picture of that and go ahead and get started. And there's my email address as well. So if you have any questions, please feel free to email me or call me. I'll be more than happy to help you through this process. And I really appreciate your time today. And I look forward to any questions that you may have at this moment.
Great. Thank you so much, Tanita. That was all great information. I don't see any questions yet in the Q&A, so I want students to go ahead and ask your questions in the question box. And while we wait, I am going to, I did have a question, so I'm going to go ahead and ask one. I was wondering, what is the minimum, or is there a minimum or maximum amount of credits that students can transfer into your university?
No, there's not. There's not a there's not a minimum. I think, well, you have to have transfer credit hours because we are a transfer university. So no, there's not a minimum. And it's maximum in terms of, there are some courses that you have to take here at the university in order for it to be our program. And so we do have what's called a residential requirement. So I think that may be 20 hours, 20 to 25 hours that you have to take here at the university. Just to make sure that it's, it's our degree. So, but yeah, so, and all universities have a residential requirement. And they all have courses that you have to take at their university to say it's their degree. So I think it's about 25 to 30 hours that you have to take.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. We have one at Wake Tech too, like a requirement they have to complete at the institution. Yes. So that definitely is understandable. And another question was, can students double major at Western Governors University?
Yes.
Okay.
They can. And I forgot to mention that our advisors or the mentors, all the mentors that you will have will be in that, has a degree in that major. So if you're in business your mentor will have at least an MBA or a PhD in that particular degree, so that when they're mentoring you, they know exactly what you're going through, what you have to go through in order to be successful in that particular major. So,
Wow,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
definitely a great way to network, especially for new students starting out. Wow.
Yes.
Another question that we've had was just about internships. Do you all require any internships, or do you provide any internship opportunities for students?
Yes, here again, we work very closely with industry. And so by our programs being industry focused or uh, business focused in terms of market driven focus. So yes, we do have some programs do require internships, and they will work with companies wherever you are to assist with that. So yes. So for example, let's say if you're in a teaching college and you're getting your teaching degree, we have relationships with school systems and educational systems in the country. Well, we're across the country, so we have relationships with school systems here in North Carolina where you can go and do your residency, your student teaching and so forth. So we do have relationships again with companies who are looking for employers like you. So once you get that degree, you can start working with them. So that's why we have relationships with different industries, different companies across the country. It's a true partnership between us and the industry.
That's great. That sounds like it really sets students up for success when they're going into that workforce.
Exactly, it does.
Awesome. All right, I'm trying to see if we'll get any more questions, but I actually have another one. So I know you said a student had completed his degree in 6 months, so I was curious, what's the usual amount of time that you see transfer students completing their degree from start to finish at your school?
I would say a year and a half.
Okay.
Year and a half. That's the typical time frame. A year and a half with credit hours. And again, that guy, he also came back. We offered him, once he finished his bachelor's degree in IT, he applied for the master's in IT. He received a scholarship. I awarded him that scholarship. I went to his job and awarded him his scholarship. He finished his master's degree in 6 months as well. So he was
Nice.
he was just amazing. He didn't, again, I don't think he had family, children and family, but he had his why. His why was he was trying to stay at this company, he was trying to move forward, and he was in IT, getting a degree in IT. So a lot of his information, he was able to move through the coursework quickly because he probably had a lot of hands-on. And so just like that example about the math class, he didn't need 6 weeks to go through the courses because he was actually doing the work and knowing the information. So it probably took him like 2 weeks per class to kind of go through it and take the assessment. But it is doable. But the average student takes about 1.5 years because life happens. You have death in the family. You have to work. Just different things. Some courses may be a little bit harder than others. And one good thing about WGU is if you don't master that course, you can't move on. So unlike a traditional class, you can get a D out of the class and move to the next class, or C and just move to the next class. That doesn't mean you've mastered the material. So a good example of that, you can pass accounting 1, I guess, with a C. You really don't have the foundations to move to accounting 2. Here, you have to master the material in order to move on to the next. So that makes sure that when you go on to that next course, you are efficient in that course. You have mastered the material in that course. And so all of our students graduate with at least a B average because that is the threshold. of our university. So you have to master that material, and which is good because once you leave WGU, our employers have an expectation from from our students that they know the material, that they know the industry. And so that's why we are designed the way that we are, to make sure that once you have a WGU degree, the employers know you're ready. You're ready.
That's great.
Thank
That's really great. And I wanted to let students know I just pasted the survey link in the question and answer box if students don't mind completing that link just to give us feedback. But I'm not seeing any more questions. So if it's okay with everyone, I will go ahead and wrap up. Danita, did you have any last things that you wanted to say or mention?
No, I just wanted to ask them if they could go to this link here and complete that if they want here again, if they want to learn more information or just get started. You know, if you have additional questions, you can ask them more specific program questions. You know, go to that Strala, go to that link, and they'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you may have, or contact me and I'll direct you as well, or answer any questions that you may have. But I really appreciate the opportunity today.
Great. I have that up there so students can see that, take a picture of it, or go ahead and type it in. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. And thank you for your presentation. Thank you to everyone who joined this event today. And I'll go ahead and close the event, but we hope everyone has a wonderful rest of their day.
Thank you.